Hello everyone, this is Shatrupa and today I have bought some verbal ability questions. It's not overview exactly, okay? There are questions to give you an idea of the kind of question that comes in online tests for different MNCs. May that be competitive exams like bank or any government jobs, alright? But these questions are not asked for international standard exams like GRE, GMAT, TOEFL, IELTS and PAT or SAT or anything that you give, okay? So these questions aren't asked in international standard because in international standard the questions have a little higher level. Okay, so these are for basic for any Indian based examination that you give. Okay, so this is the first question. Okay, where you have to find the error in the statement. I'll give you 15 seconds. So go for it. You have to say which part of the statement has the error. Alright, so your time is up. So if we look into the question, it says doctor can't treat this complicated disease unless full medical equipment are not given to them. So on an overall, if you understand, it means docs can treat only if full medical equipment are provided. Okay, so if it is provided to the doctors, they can treat the complicated disease. Okay, so here is a term which says doctors can't treat unless itself justifies that they can treat. Okay, only when they have given full medical equipment. Okay, if they are provided with full medical equipment, doctors can treat it. So there is a term are not given to them. So this unless itself justifies if they are not provided, they can't treat. So this not is not adding any extra sense to the statement. So the error is in this part, okay, which is in the part 4. So your answer will be option 4, okay. So what is your statement? Your statement should be doctors can't treat this complicated disease unless full medical equipments are given to them. Alright. So error is in option 4. Okay. So again, similarly in the second question, you have to find the error. Your time starts now. Please go for it. Okay. Alright. So time is up. Several famous politicians are involved in a scandal are required to appear to the investigation committee. Now, there are two things. You always appear before a group of people and you always appear in front of a single person. Alright? It's always appear before a group of people and appear in front of a single person. Okay? So, if you look at the question, it says several famous politicians involved in the scandal are required to appear to the investigation committee. You can never appear to. Okay? So, since investigation committee, it is a group. So, what you will be using, it will be appear before. Okay, so appear before. Alright. Okay, so where is the error? The error is again in the part 4 where it says to the investigation committee. It will be before the investigation committee. Okay, so what will be your final statement? Several famous politicians are involved in the scandal are required to appear before the investigation committee. Okay, moving on. Again, I give you 15 seconds. Find the error in the statement. Alright. So it says children generally fight over petty issues, okay? Remember, you always fight for or against someone, okay? And you fight over something, okay? These are the two words that are used with fight, okay? So here it says petty issues. Petty issues mean silly issues, okay? Children don't make sense while fighting. They fight over little silly issues, okay? So they can't fight above. They can't fight above. This is wrong, okay? So issues is what? It is a thing. So thereby they will fight over, okay? So it will be what? It will be fight over. So it is the error. The error is in second part. So option 2 is the correct answer, okay? That it will be, where is the error? It's here, fight above. It will be fight over, okay? So next question says you have to fill in the blanks with the appropriate word, okay? Your time starts now. Okay, so the question says she lived dash the expectations, okay? Always remember, for expectations the word used is up to. You always live up to the expectation. Why? Because that is a limit or a goal that you have to achieve, okay? When the situation is for rules, you live as per the rules, okay? Even if it is rules and regulations, both. You always live as per the rules and regulations, okay? But for expectation, it is always up to. Okay, so your answer is in option number 2. That is up to. Okay, she lived up to the expectations. Moving on, your time has started. So similarly, try answering this question. Alright, so the time is up. If you consider the fifth question, it says that there are two blanks, okay? So if I consider the option choices, the second part, everyone is having send it. That means what is the answer to this box? It is send it. Alright, it is send it. So I need to only find the answer to the first box. So what will be my statement? My statement will be, if the courier boy delivers your packet dash, keep it with me till you come or send it to your home. Okay. So now you have four things. Do I, will I, should I, would I. Now would I will not be an option. Why? Because this is past. Okay. Would you have done this, the situation would have been different. This is past. So it can't be would I, because I have to do it. Okay, it is from now. It is from exact time is now when I have the packet in hand. Whether am I going to send it to you or keep it with myself. Okay. So should I is asked when you are asking or seeking of an opinion of the other person. Okay, you have given him two options. Okay, the first option is to keep it with yourself, the other one is to send it to him. So you're giving him two options and you want to know his opinion. That case, what comes across is should I? Should I keep it with me till you come or send it to your home? Okay, so that is when you use should I. Okay, will I? Will I do this? So you're just asking his advice. Okay, this is not opinion, this goes for advice. Will I be able to do this? Oh, it comes when you question yourself, you question someone else, you ask them for their advice. Okay? And one more term it's there, it's may I. Now when is this may I used? It's always used for the sake of permission. Okay? May I enter the class? May I use your laptop? May I use your wardrobe? Everything that comes with may I is a source of permission. Okay, so here the answer is should I, which is in option number 3. Clear? Okay, great. So the next one is to cry wolf. Now they are asking you what does the term or the phrase cry wolf means. Okay, which of the following is true? Your time starts now. Please try analyzing what it actually means and try to give the answer. Okay, so to cry wolf means, have you seen dogs at night outside your house? They start singing in chorus. Okay, and when they start singing, we as human try to peep outside the window and check what's wrong. Okay, then we look at the dogs and feel like slapping them, right? Because there is no reason why they are shouting and yet they are singing in chorus. Okay, for no reason. And we as human have a tendency to often go out and check that why they are singing. That might be happening every time, every day, every night, but still we'll go out and check. Okay, the same thing is done by the wolf. What does the wolf do? Dogs sing while wolves cry. Okay, they cry for no reason. And when they cry, wolves are generally inside forest, dark, deep forest, and people living in and around the forest at the night time when the wolf starts to cry, they are all scared. Even they, as humans, start peeping outside the windows just to see what's happening. Okay, and then they open the window and see it's nothing. It's just for fun, for no reason. She's just crying away. So what it is? It is a false alarm. We get scared that why is it shouting? Why is it crying? So what it is? It's a false alarm. Okay. So to cry wolf means to give false alarm to someone. Okay. It's like I'm saying I'll take a sudden test in the next class, and that next class never comes. I never took your test. What was I trying to do? I was trying to give you a false alarm about the test. Okay, there is no test. So I was trying to cry wolf. Okay, I was trying to give a false alarm. Alright, so where's the answer? Answer is in option number 4. Okay, alright. Moving on to the next question. It's again a phrase that has been given. You have to find out the meaning of this phrase. Okay. What will end in smoke? Just think about it. Alright. To end in smoke. Let's take an example. I tried to make an experiment in my backyard. I wanted that there would be a huge bomb blast. So I've lit up a lot of fire. Okay. I had lit up a lot of fire, expecting there would be an explosion, great, good explosion. Okay. But ultimately, nothing happened. They all ended in smokes and ashes. So, what happened? All my labor, all my hard work, they all went into vain. Okay. Like, suppose, despite all the matches won by India, the finals between India and Pakistan ended in smoke. So what does that mean? That despite winning all the matches until the semi-final, quarter-final and all the knockout matches, India lost the match in the finals. So it ended in smoke. That means it ended and came to nothing. What was the what happened even if India won so many matches? He couldn't win the final. So it ended in nothing. Absolute zero. Okay, just like this explosion. I did so much, I had lit up an entire place on fire, and yet there was no explosion, it just ended up in smoke and ashes. So, to come to nothing, to come to nothing is known as to end in smoke. Okay, to come to nothing is known as to end in smoke. That is in option number 3. Alright. So next one is just a word written. So I'll tell you the question. The question says that what is the synonym of the word vent? Okay. You have to tell the synonym or another meaning or another word which means the same as vent. Okay. So your time has started. Okay. So what does this word vent means? The word vent has been derived from the word ventilation. Okay. Now you can see here is the word vent. Now, have you seen old houses? They used to have small skylights on the wall. Okay. To allow the penetration of light and air. So even if the windows and doors of a particular room is closed, the room will not get damped because there are little openings which will allow the light and air to pass through. So what is a ventilator? What does this word vent mean? It means it is an opening to let in or let out of something or someone. Anything, okay? There can be small tunnel and passage that can be acting like a vent through which a person can go and come inside, okay? So, what is a vent? Vent is nothing but an opening which can let in or let out of something or someone, okay? So, this one is there in option number 4, okay? So, that is what a a vent means, okay? Remember, the word vent is been derived from the word ventilation, and I hope you never forget this example, and this example will help you remember the meaning. That is a opening. All right. So moving on to the next word, you have to again find the synonym of this word canny. Okay, your time has started. Please go for it. All right. So what is canny? Okay, so canny. This term sounds negative. Okay, so let us eliminate all the positive option that are provided. Okay, let's eliminate 1 and 2 which says beautiful and gorgeous. Okay, just eliminate them because the word canny is negative, so the meaning can never be positive. Okay, so now we are left with clever and fat. Remember, what is canny? Canny is a person who's clever, who's shrewd. Okay, what's this word mean? Shrewd means mean. Okay, someone who's mean. Now don't confuse shrewd with rude. Rude is different. Okay, so it is shrewd. Shrewd means mean, or in Hindi what you call as matlabi insan. Okay, or chant insan, person who uses you for his goodwill and then he leaves you in a very unwilling situation. Okay, he never speaks to you after that. So those kind of person जो अपने फायदे के लिए काम करे, that kind of a person is shrewd or clever. Okay, and to them, those, the exact term if you ask me in Hindi, it is chunt, the smart ones. Okay, so this chunt in Hindi is known as canny in English. Alright, so what does canny mean? Canny means clever or shrewd. Okay, so clever is given in the option, so option 2 is your answer. Alright, which says clever. Clear? Okay, now moving on to the 10th question. Okay, it says that there's a statement given a month after the college opened, then dots are given. So you have to find out what is the order or sequence of these statements. Okay, you have to find out the order of these statements which will come after what. Okay, so your time starts now. Try rephrasing, rearranging this statements or reordering them. There are 4 statement A, B, C, D. You have to reorder them. Alright, so if I see the question, it says a month after colleges open. Okay, then it's dot dot dot. Now when this someone says me that a month after college is opened, I would ask, why did it open? It was better closed, then why did it open? Why did it open? It's open for the next academic year. Okay, now what will you do in that next academic year? You'll grant admission. Okay, so for admission we know that there are seats reserved. So what comes next? That the 35% seat reserved under OBCs. Okay, now what happened to these seats? Okay, what happened to these seats? They remained vacant. Okay, they remained vacant. Where? In private colleges. Okay, so what will be your complete statement then? A month after the colleges open for the next academic year, 35% seats reserved under the OBCs remain vacant in private colleges. Clear? That means first is C, then is A, then is D, then is B. Okay, so C, A, D, B. Okay, this is your answer, which is there in option number 2. Now you see there's a format why, what, and where. Okay, so this is the procedure. Like, what is the obvious question after you hear a month after the college is open? I would say, why did it open first? Okay, then you'll say, okay, for what did it open? This is for what? For admission. What happened to this admission then? 35% seat were reserved under OBC. So what happened to these seats? These seats remained vacant, okay? Where? In private colleges. Alright? So this is the order. This is how you think, okay? Have a normal analogy that what a person is going to react after listening to a half-filled statement, okay? That is going to be your answer. Okay, so your answer is CADB. So if we have further more classes, we'll get to know the tricks, the shortcuts, how to find out the statement which comes after what. Alright? Okay, so moving on, the 11th one is also same as the previous question. Go for it. Just try it out. Alright, so now the statement says the water tanks may remain empty. The moment you say this statement to your mom, she'll first ask you when. Okay? When is it going to remain empty? Then what will you say? You have to give a particular time. You'll say on Tuesday evening. Then the obvious question will be why. Okay, then what you'll say, you'll give the reason. As the water supply department will repair damaged pipes in the city. Okay, so see, there's again an analogy. What is the reaction? The obvious reaction is when. Kab, when will be my tanks empty? And then it's why will be my tanks empty. Okay, so what is the first one? This A, then this is D, then okay, then first is A, then it's D, then it is C, and finally B. Okay, so your answer is in option number 4. Again, we'll learn the tricks later on to how you can determine this if we have further classes. Alright, so this is the answer. So that's an option 4. Oh, there is one more trick over here. You can see only one option had A in the starting. So you need not go for the entire thing. But in case A were there in 2 statement, you had to find it out. Okay. So, okay. This is the order, however. Alright. Now, the 12th question says you have to find the opposite of the given word pit. Either you say it an opposite or someone might have written antonyms. They both are same. So you have to find the opposite. What does pit means? First find that out, then think what can be the opposite of that word. Alright, let's do it. So pit. We use this statement, say he had a pitfall in his life. What does this pitfall means? It means a downfall. Okay, it means a downfall. So pit term means down and fall means fall. So what is the opposite of down? It means up. Okay, now up is the opposite of down. So you have to find a similar word or a synonym of up which will be the opposite of pit. Now if you see, the option is down, up, correct, and peak. Now down is the meaning of pit, so it can't be the opposite. So option 1 is eliminated. Okay, now up is the opposite of down. It can't be the opposite of pit. Okay, and correct means right. It does not means up. Okay, so you're left with only one, that is peak. Okay, so peak means high. Okay, it's not down, it is up. He's on the peak top. What does that peak means? On the top, right? Hills have a peak top. What does that mean? It means top, okay? Or up. So you can frame a sentence like this: despite having a pitfall in his life, he's still at the peak of his career, okay? This can be a statement, alright? So what is the opposite of pit? The opposite of pit is peak. So that is an option 4. Alright? Moving ahead. So now these two questions, it means there is a statement given to you. You have to tell which word defines that entire statement. You have to tell just single word that defines the entire statement. Okay? Alright. So it says a person who travels on foot. This is very simple, okay? Have you seen zebra crossings at the traffic signals? It's written pedestrian crossing. What does this pedestrian crossing means? Who crosses that pedestrian crossing? Human beings. How? By walking, okay? So a person who travels on foot is known as a pedestrian, okay? Where is the answer? So the answer is in option number 1. Clear? So a person who travels on foot is known as pedestrian. So what is the single word given for this statement? A person who travels on foot is pedestrian, okay? Similarly, question number 14, okay? That's again a statement given. You have to find out a single word for it. Alright? Okay. So if you look at the statement, it says a country that is ruled by a king or a queen. Okay? So now see, option are monarchy, democratic and autocracy. Now what is democratic? India is a democratic country. Not fully democratic, but still India is a democratic country. That means what, are we ruled by kings or a queen? No, right? We have a government. Who elects this government? It is by the people, for the people. Okay, so people have elected this government. Okay, so India is a democratic country. That means a democratic country is one that is ruled by a democratic government that is elected by its own citizen. Okay, it is not ruled by king or queen. So you eliminate two options, that is option number 2, that is democratic, and if option number 2 is not an answer, then option number 4, all of the above, is not at all an answer. Okay, so you have eliminated. You are left with two more things. One is monarchy and other is autocracy. Now what is monarchy? The term mona, okay, or mono, it means one. That means the country is either led by a king or a queen, just one person. Okay, that is what the term mono means. You have heard of terms like monolithic. What does this mean? Mono means one, lithic means stone. So it is a single stone, one stone. Similarly, mono over here means one. Archy means anyone, a king or a queen. It's ruled by a single person, okay? A king or by a queen. So what does this term monarchy means? Monarchy is there in those countries which is ruled by a king or a queen. So what is the answer? The answer is simple. It is in option number 1. Okay, so a country that is ruled by a king or queen is known as a monarchy. Clear? Moving on to the next question, it says he was tired as he's working since 6 o'clock in the morning. You have to change the underlined part. The underlined part is an error, okay? So that is the error in the statement. You have to correct it using the following options that are given below. Okay, so let's have a look. The term says since. If I say I have been working since 6 o'clock in the morning, that means I am working from 6 o'clock till now. It is past continuous. Okay, it is continuing from past, that is 6 o'clock in the morning till now. It is past continuous. So, what goes with past continuous? Has been. Okay, has been is a past continuous. Okay, so he is working. Is what? Is present. Is present. But it is saying since 6 o'clock. That means 6. Since 6 o'clock. From the morning 6 till now he is working. That is past continuous. So it can't have a phrase that is present. It has to be in past continuous, and that is has been. So he is working will be replaced by he has been working since 6 o'clock in the morning. Clear? This is the correct phrase. So where is the answer? The answer is in option number 3. Okay, so he was very tired as he has been working since 6 o'clock in the morning. Alright. Okay, so moving on to the last question for today. So the question says you have to identify the error. Which word is an error word in the statement, and you have to replace it by the correct word or the phrase that has been given in the following option. Your time starts now. Please go for it. Okay, now it says the girl to who I sold my car was very honest. Two things, okay? I sold was very honest. Okay, I sold and was. This means both of them are in which tense? Both of them are in past tense. That means I have already sold my car. Okay, so when I have already sold it, how can it be who? If I've sold it to someone, I know who that person is. So what it will be? It will be whom. And since it is past, it will only be sold, it will not be sell. Okay, so which statement has this option? Which option has these two words? It is in option number 2. So which was the error word? Only who was the error word. It will be replaced by whom. So what will be the statement? The girl to whom I sold my car was very honest. Sorry. Okay, this will be the statement. It's not who, it is whom. Okay, and I sold will be there because was very honest. Was means it's past, and that means I've already sold my car. It will not be sell. Okay, thereby it will be sold. So your answer is in option number 2. Clear? So here goes the first question on verbal ability. Give it a try. Your 30 seconds starts now. The question says that you have to change the underlined part in order to correct the statement. Okay, so there's an underlined part in the statement. You have to change it from the given options below so you get the correct statement. Alright, so time is up. If you look at the statement says jeans was not allowed in Maria's college. Okay, so now where is was used? Was is always used in first person. Who's the first person? First person is always I. I am the first person. Okay, and where else it's used? It is used in third person. Who's this third person? Third person is he or she or it. Okay, so always remember was is used as a first person, that is I, and in third person, that is he, she or it. Okay, next what comes other than was is where. Okay, where is the other form? Where is where used? Where is used only in second person. Who's the second person? Second person is you, yours. Okay, these are the second person. And where else it is used? It is used in plurals. Okay, whenever there is a plural, It is used in plural. Where do you get this plural? We or they. Clear? So, where is used in second person and in plural, was is used in first person and third person. Okay? You should always know who's the first person and the third person. Okay? It's very important. And second person is directly the person you're talking to. It's you or yours. Okay? Or you're referring to someone plural, we or they. That is where you use where. Okay? Now, the statement says jeans was not allowed in Maria's college. Okay? And was is underlined. So, who is this Maria? The Maria is a second person to whom I am referring. Okay, I am referring to a second person, Maria, and I am saying that in her college, jeans was not allowed. Okay, so what will you replace? If it is a second person, you will replace it with were. Okay, jeans were not allowed in Maria's college. Always remember, was is the was is the past form of the be. Okay, be is the present form and was is the past form. Okay, this, remember this thing. Okay, it's important. And over here Maria is the second person, so for a second person what we use were. Okay, so what will be your statement? Your statement will be jeans were not allowed, and whatever the statement is there, in Maria's college. Alright, so the answer is where. Was will be replaced by where. So where is the answer? Answer is in option number 3. Right, that is where. Alright, so moving on to the next question. You again have 30 seconds. Give it a try. Alright, so again you have to change the word that is underlined, that is told. Okay, so now the statement is the teacher told Alice to skim the chapter one more time. Now what does this word skim means? This word means to go through quickly. This is what the word skim means. Okay, to go through quickly. Okay, so the teacher has told Alice to skim or to go through the chapter quickly one more time. Okay, maybe she wanted him to have some doubts clarified, so thereby she wanted him to have the chapter revised once again quickly. Okay, so thereby she has used the term skim. Now the underlined word is told. Okay, now when is it used as told? That is when you are ordered with something. Okay, that is when you are ordered with something. He was told not to enter the class. That is an order. Okay, that he should not enter the class, he has been told. Okay, so whenever you are asked or you're ordered, that is when you use the term as told. Okay, the teacher told the students not to roam around. That is mean what? It means the students have been ordered by the teacher not to roam around. Okay, invited. Where do you use this term invited? When you call someone to attend something, that is when you invite a person. Okay, now said to Alice cannot be used because this is a past form statement. Okay, that is told. This statement has already been given by the teacher to Alice. So if the teacher has told Alice to do something, that means what? A teacher can never tell you to do something. A teacher will always ask you to do something, because how will the teacher know will you follow that or not? That is when, only when once you complete it, that is when the teacher will come to know that okay, fine, you have done this homework, alright. So teacher will always ask you to do something, okay. The teacher asked Alice. Now whether Alice will skim through the chapter once more time or not, that depends upon Alice. What can teacher do? The teacher can request Alice, will say, please Alice, skim through the chapter one more time. Okay, so what is teacher doing? Teacher is asking Alice to please go through the chapter one more time. Okay, so what it will be? It will be the teacher asked Alice. Clear? So your answer is in option number 2. That is, teacher asked Alice to skim the chapter one more time. Alright? Okay. So moving on to the next question. Your 30 seconds starts now. This question is very clear. What is the antonym of meticulous? Okay, so time is up. So let's look at the word meticulous. Doesn't this word sound something like curious? Yes, it sounds something like curious. He is a meticulous person. What does that mean? That he is a very keen or careful person. That is what the term meticulous refers to. Okay, so what does the word meticulous refer to? It means careful. Now, if it means careful, then what is the opposite of careful? Opposite of careful is careless. Okay, now you have to find a synonym of careless. Now the first one is energetic. Energetic can't be careless. Ridiculous. Ridiculous is not something which means careless. Okay, ridiculous is disgusting. Okay, and decisive. Decisive means someone who can take decisions. Okay, that is a decisive person. So a careless person can never be decisive. Okay, so that is also not the synonym of careless. So what are you left with? You're left with slovenly. Okay, so slovenly means careless. Okay, so slovenly is the opposite of meticulous, which means careless. Okay, so meticulous means careful, opposite of careful is careless, and the synonym of careless is slovenly. Alright, so your answer is in option number 2. Okay, so always try knowing the meaning, try understanding the meaning of the word given, break it down to what it actually means in a common man's term, and then change it to the other side, have its opposite, and then try eliminating the option. That will be much easier, okay, if you learn how to eliminate options. Alright, here your answer is in option number 2. Alright, great. Moving on to the next question. You have your 30 seconds starting now. Go for it. Alright, so your time has ended. The word is haphazard. Now the word hazard means damage or danger. Right? The word itself, hazard, means damage or danger. This haphazard, what is this hap doing here? This means it is somewhere half damaged or half danger. Why? Because it is halfway done. It is halfway done. Okay. What does this mean? This means suppose the statement is he has done the work in a very haphazardous way. Let's write it in a haphazardous manner, okay? So, what does this mean? He has done the work, he has completed the work, but he has not done it in a proper planned manner. He has done it halfway. It's done like half. It's not complete. Why? Because it was unplanned. Okay, thereby it was not done properly. Okay, so if haphazard means it's unplanned, what is the opposite of unplanned? It's planned, right? The opposite of unplanned is planned. So haphazard's opposite will also be planned. So if you look at the option, it's confused. So synonym of planned can never be confused. If you're planned, you're not confused. Okay, then it's irregular. So if it's planned, it can't be irregular, it can be regularized, right? Next one is planned and the last one is unplanned. So unplanned is already the meaning of haphazard, okay? So if someone has done something in a haphazardous manner, that means it was unplanned. Though he has completed the work, it is not up to the mark, okay? Because it was unplanned. So haphazard means unplanned. So opposite of unplanned is planned, okay? So your answer is in option number 3. Alright. Great. So moving on to the next question. Okay, you have to again find the antonym of Philistine. So give it a try. Okay, so your time is up. So now, what does this word Philistine means? Okay, if I speak in common layman's language, then I would say in Hindi, whom you call as the Nastik Admi, okay? The people who do not believe in intellectual things, do not believe in intellectual things, okay? Someone who do not believe in culture and art, okay? They have their own ideology. Those people are known as Philistine. People having their own ideology. Someone who do not believe in any kind of religion or intellectual thing or culture or art. They believe in their own ideology, okay? Someone who's not so much fond of intellectual things, okay? So, Philistine is someone who's not intellectual. So, what is the opposite of not being an intellectual? Someone who's intellectual, that person is the opposite of not intellectual, right? So, if someone is intellectual, that means if I look at the options, what does the option say? The first one is religious, okay? An intellectual person is religious, so that can't be the opposite of that can't be the answer, right? Religious, it has to be intellectual. So religious is the synonym of intellectual, okay? Now intellectual is also given. Alright, then a learner. A learner is not someone who's Philistine. You need to find the antonyms, okay? So you have two options that are same as the opposite of Philistine. One is intellectual, one is religious. So what will you go for? You go for the one that is more apt, okay? The apt one is intellectual, so go for intellectual. See, because Philistine means someone who do not believe in intellectual things or culture or art, okay? The term itself has intellectual in it, so it's always advisable to choose a term that has a nearer meaning, okay? So go for intellectual over religious, okay? Because religious becomes secondary to its meaning, okay? So intellectual is there in your option, so you're going to choose that, and your answer is in option number 2. Okay. Religious is kind of a same meaning as that of an intellectual man. Okay, but more apt would be intellectual. All right. Okay. So moving on to the next question. So this is something that you have arranged the statements in a proper way. Okay. So give it a try. You have to arrange. I suppose this is a simple statement. You have to say which statement will come after whom. Alright, so your time is up. Now see, the statement started with panic gripped the people, right? This is what it started with. Now the moment you listen to this statement, the panic gripped the people, what will you say? Of where? Kahan pe? That is your question. Your answer will be of the village. Next one will be which village? Right? That is obvious. So then it will say besides the city. Then when? On Friday. Why? After a terror attack. Okay? So there is a pattern always. So where? First when you hear that panic gripped the people, you will ask kahan pe, where? Where did that happen? Then someone will say of the village. Which people of the village? Village people were having panic attacks. They were getting gripped by the panic, the fear of something. Then you will ask which village? They'll say beside the city. Then you'll ask when? On Friday. You'll ask why? Because there was a terror attack. Okay, after a terror attack, the panic had gripped the people of the village beside the city. Clear? Alright. So the frame goes naturally. Okay, just try questioning yourself. When you hear this statement, a half-filled statement, what will be your next obvious question? This question will lead you to your next answer. This answer will take you to another question which will have another answer. Okay, so always reason why. Okay, like what should you question immediately after hearing this? So of the village is in the first option, then beside the city is in second, then C and D. Wow, A, B, C, D as it is. Okay, so your answer is in option number 3. Okay, you could have done it other way. When you get the first statement, that is A, you can eliminate 1 and 2. Okay, they are not there in options anymore. Now you have to do a hit and trial method, that after this what will come, which will come or when will come. Okay, so that is important. Okay, alright, so moving on to the next question. So I'll give you 30 seconds again. So you have to understand the relation between warm and hot. So what will be old? Okay, it's said like warm is to hot, then old is to dash. So you have to say what is old is to. But before that you have to understand the relationship between warm and hot. Alright, so time is up. If you consider warm is to hot, they both are the synonyms. Right? They both are synonyms. Okay, so what will be another synonym of old? It will be antique. Okay. Don't you say the museum had a lot of antique collection? What is this antique collection? Old collection, old things. Okay. Or the jewelers had different jewelry based on antique gold. What is this antique gold? Old gold designs. Okay, so that is what antique means. Antique means old. Okay, like hot means warm or warm means hot. Antique means old and old means antique. Alright, so your answer is in option number 2. So what is important in this question is you understand the relation, like what is the word trying to do. It's synonym here, it can be antonyms at times. Okay, so you have to understand the relation. Alright. Moving on to the next question. Your 30 seconds starts now. So it's like poor is to wealthy, then you have to find which one holds the same relation as that of poor and wealthy. Alright, so your time is up. Poor is to wealthy. These are opposites, right? These are opposites. Opposite of poor is wealthy or rich. So, which of the following is the opposite? Sugar is to sweet. These are synonyms. Sugar is sweet and sweet is sugar. Angry is to arrogant. These are also kind of, there is a similarity, right? If you are angry, you might get arrogant. If you are arrogant, you might be angry, right? Ice is cold. Okay, obviously ice is cold and cold things can be iced, so these are having a similarity, they are not opposite. So what is an opposite? Gauche is to graceful. This is the opposite. Okay, gauche is to graceful. So your answer is in option number 1. So even if you don't know the meaning of some words, you can still choose the elimination process. Okay, howsoever, the gauche means something that is not graceful, not beautiful, okay? Something that cannot be easily accepted because that is not so good looking, it's not nice, it's not pretty, okay? That is what the gauche means, okay? On the other hand, it's graceful. Graceful means everyone will accept it, it's beautiful, it's accepted universally, right? Howsoever, your answer is in option number 1, alright? Moving on to the next question, you have to find the synonym or the meaning or a word similar to the word given, that is relinquish. Alright, so your time is up. Now see the word relinquish. You know, this was actually started by all the kings or queens who had kingdoms. So what they used to do when they used to find a person who wasn't loyal to their kingdom, they used to abandon them. Okay, they used to abandon them. So while abandoning them, what they used to do, they used to ask them to leave their kingdom and go to somewhere else. Okay, leave their kingdom. So this were initially started by all these queen, okay, to abandon, to let go of someone, and that was by order. So what was this relinquish known as? It was known as renounce. Okay, renounce means to relinquish or to abandon someone or something. Okay, so your answer is in option number 3. Alright, relinquish means to abandon people or something, okay, to abandon, to let go of them because they have done some mistake, they weren't loyal to the kingdom thereby, okay. So the synonym of relinquish is to renounce. Even renounce means to abandon, okay. Alright, even this means to abandon. Alright, okay, moving on to the next one. You have to find the synonym again. Your 30 seconds have started. Okay, so your time is up. I don't know how many of you have read this book, Aesop's Fable. Okay, there was a book when I was small, I was young. I had this book and I used to read this book a lot because it used to have small stories and they were so good. Okay, so probably in grade 5 I came across this book and I used to read it. That's when I got to know the word fable. Now, what does this word fable means? This means myth, something that is not true or something that is just imaginary. Okay, that is fable. A story, okay, imaginary story, that is a fable. Okay, a myth. So this Aesop's fable had lots of small stories, short stories. Okay, and so I used to like reading them. So what is fable? Okay, fables are small stories that are written which are not true. They can be a kind of a myth. Okay, they are not true, they're imaginary stories written by some authors. Okay, so what does fable means? Fable means nothing but a story. Okay, a imaginary story. All right, so your answer is in option number 4. Okay, great. So moving on to the next question. Now, substitute one word for the following. There is a statement given. You have to substitute one word for that. Alright, so your time is up. So, the practice of having several wives. Now, if you know, practice of having a single wife is known as monogamy. Okay, monogamy means single wife. Bigamy means you get married to another woman despite having the first wife. Okay, you have your first wife and you get married to another woman, that is known as bigamy. And what is polygamy? Polygamy means a practice of having several wives. Where was this seen? This was seen during the time of the kings. Okay, they used to marry 16, 17 queens all at once. Okay, so they used to have polygamy that time. So they used to have the practice of having several wives. Okay, so polygamy means the practice of having the practice of several wives. So your answer is in option number 4. So see, there is a single statement given, the practice of having several wives. So you have to substitute only one word which means this thing. Okay, that is the overall thing the question wants to know. Okay, so what does the word polygamy means? Polygamy is a practice of having several wives. Okay, alright, again substitute one word. So your time starts now, give it a try. Alright, so it says a man with a woman like characteristics, habits, or manners. Now, if I look at into the option womanish, now womanish is a characteristics. Okay, I can say he is behaving womanish. Okay, so I'm just explaining his characteristics, but what will he be called? What will this person he be called? He is having a characteristics that is womanish, but what will he be called? That is what the question is trying to ask. What is a man called if he possesses a characteristics of being a woman? Okay, then that man is known as effeminate. Okay, he is known as effeminate. Okay, Feminine, from there the word has been derived, effeminate. Okay. Now feminine, you know, it is a gender based, feminine and masculine. So that has nothing to do with a man. Okay. Ladybird is not an answer, obviously, that is evident. So effeminate, you can see the word femin is already there. Okay. So effeminate, someone who imparts the characteristic, a man who imparts the characteristics of a feminine is known as an effeminate. Alright. So your answer is in option number 1. Clear? Alright. Moving on to the next question. So your 30 seconds starts now. All you have to do, the statement has been jumbled up. Okay. You have to predict the correct statement. Correct order rather. Alright. So your time is up. So if you see, the overall thing is someone is asking someone that do you know any home remedies for common cold? So how will you frame that statement? Okay, see, the question tag comes first. Okay, that is what? After what will come? I am referring to a person, so it will be do you know about what? About the home remedies for the common cold. Okay. So this is going to be the statement. What do you know about the home remedies for the common cold? So see, this is very simple. It's simple English. Okay, the way you speak. All you need to do, don't get confused. Just think properly and then frame. So 2 will come first, then 3, then 1, then 5, and then 4. So the option will be 2, 3, 1, 5 and 4. So I suppose this one is there in option number 2. Right? So option number 2 is your answer. What do you know about the home remedies for common cold? Alright? Great. Now moving on to the next question. It's a similar kind of question, that is sentence formation. Give it a try. Okay, so your time is up. It says, sorry. Okay, so it says, living in the village, the government to uplift the standard of introduce many schemes. Okay, so what is the main objective of the statement? That the government is introducing schemes for what? To uplift the living standards of the village. Okay, so your statement will start with the organization who is doing that, the government. And what did the government do? Has introduced many schemes. Okay, for what? To uplift the standard of living in the villages. Okay, see, if you again consider the statement, this is again simple English. Okay, you just need to understand the objective and frame the statement in a proper sensible manner. Okay, so the government, that is in part 2, to uplift, introduce many schemes, that is in 4, to uplift is in 3, the standard of living is in 1. Okay, this is in 5, scheme. So 2, 4, 5, 3 and 1. So you need to find which one is having this 2, 4, 5, 3, 1. That is in option number 1. Alright, so your answer is in option number 1. Great. Moving on to the last question of the session today. An apple of discord. Okay, so your 30 seconds starts now. This is an idiom, or you can say this is a phrase rather, not an idiom. So you have to explain the meaning. Which of the following option gives the proper meaning of this statement? Okay. Alright. So your time is up. Now let us consider the word discord. Okay, now this word discord has two parts. One is this and other is cord. Now if I consider the only word cord, what does this cord do? This cord is nothing but a link between any two things, okay, that it can connect. Okay, it can connect two things. Suppose I want to connect two system, I'll use a cord to connect it. That means what? These two systems are going to mutually accept a connection through a cord. Okay, they're accepting on certain terms and conditions, right? Now if I've used the term that is this before the cord, that means it is not agreeing. There is a point of disagreement. Okay, if cord means agreement, that it is accepting the things, then this cord will mean disagreement. Okay, just the opposite. Okay, an apple of discord. An apple of discord means what? A reason of disagreement. Okay, an apple of discord means nothing but the reason for disagreement. Okay, that is what an apple of discord means. Okay, suppose I give the example, the chocolate box was an apple of discord between the two sisters. Okay, that means what? The box of chocolate has been the reason for disagreement, okay, between the two sisters. Now if there is a disagreement, what will you do? You will quarrel, you will argue until you win, right? So what is there in the option? Just have a look. The first option, option number 1, what it says? The cause of quarrel. Okay, the cause of quarrel. So what is the cause of quarrel between both the sisters? The box of chocolates. Okay, so what is that box of chocolate? That is the apple of an discord. Okay, so your answer is in option number 1. Okay, alright, your answer is in option number 1. See, cause of happiness it can't be because that is a point of disagreement. Cause of depression, no, it's a disagreement. Why will disagreement lead to depression? Okay, until and unless that is that much serious that you have taken it so much deeply, it's not a cause of depression howsoever. Okay, so discord means disagreement. Okay, so it will not lead you to depression. Opportunity to earn money, not at all. Okay, you can't earn money with disagreement. Okay, so cause of an quarrel. So if you disagree, you quarrel, you argue until you win. Okay, that is what you do. So your answer is in option number 1. Okay, alright. Now I know major of us would have thought that the answer is tightly, right? The first block will be filled with the word tightly, but no, it's incorrect, right? Why? Because someone is saying you that she held the bag. She held the bag and the statement is still continuing. It's not ending right there. So when it comes to a continuation statement, always remember there will be no ly. Okay, she held the bag tight. How was the bag being held? It was tightly held. And but what? Even though her arms were hurting, even though her arm hurt badly, here you will get ly. Ly always comes at the terminating statement. Okay, if the statement is about to end, then you can say ly, that's fine. But when it comes to the middle of the statement, when you're giving a statement and saying despite of something that is happening, she was still holding it tight. Okay, despite she knew that her father will not survive, yet she was holding on tight unto the grips of the hope and faith, right? So whenever there is a despite, there is a but, there is something that is happening on the other end as well. that's when the fact that ly will not be used. Got it? So it will be she then held the bag tight. She held the bag tight. Then whatever is there, even though her arms hurt badly. Even if her arms were hurting badly, the bag was held tight by her. Okay. So what is the answer? The answer is in option number A. Okay. So that is first blank will be filled with tight. The second blank will be filled with badly. Right? Great. So moving on to the next question. I again give you 30 seconds because I suppose it's the simplest of the simple question. Give it a try. Okay. So it says 4 independent dash testified to seeing him at the scene of the crime. Now testified, where is this term used? This term is used when a person appears in front of the court and he is giving his whatever it is, he's giving his statement. Okay, he's giving his statement. That is when it said that a person is testified. But when it comes to 4 independent dash, and this is related something to giving a statement at the court or seeing them. How do I know it's a court? Because people have been testified that they had seen him at the scene of crime. So scene of crime, where will they testify? The only place to be testified is the court, right? So when it comes to court, these 4 independent people will not be a person, will not be a spectator, but not be an attestant, will rather be an witness. So since it is a plural, that is 4 independent people, then it will become witnesses. Got it? If it was one single, if it was a independent, then it would be witness. But since it's a plural, it's 4 people, it will become witnesses. Okay. So the answer is in option number B. Okay, that is witnesses. 4 independent witnesses testified to seeing him at the scene of crime. Right? It's not always important that you have some tricks to solve the question. It's always important to know what the question is asking. So always try to correlate. Okay, if there is a scene of crime, the person is being testified. He's giving a statement. Then it is nowhere but a court. And when it comes to court, it's either the culprit, it's either the victim, it's the defense people, it's lawyer, judge or judges, there is no jury. Okay, and witness, the most important part. So try understanding that how the question is related, and that's where you get your answers. Okay, moving ahead to the third question, it refers to spot the error in the given statement. Okay, your 30 seconds starts now. Give it a try. Okay, so the question says either Tom or Peter forgot to take their pen. So where is the error? Either Tom, not an error, or Peter forgot, not an error, to take. It's okay. Their pen. Now why is it their pen? Because anyone forgot, right? It is either Tom or Peter. Any one of them forgot to take the pen. Why is it their pen? There comes when there are 2 people or more, right? So why is it their pen? It will be what? By default, I assume that Peter and Tom both are male. They both are having the gender as male. So what will be the change in the statement? It will be his pen. It wouldn't be their pen. Both of them didn't forget. Either Tom or Peter forgot to take his pen. So where's the error? The error is in fourth one. Okay. So your answer is in option number D, which says 4. And what is the error? It shouldn't be there because anyone forgot to take it, so it will be his. So what will be our statement? It will be either Tom or Peter forgot to take his pen. Right? Great. Moving ahead with the next spot the error question. Your 30 seconds starts now. This is also a simple one. I suppose you can catch it. Okay. So it says, can you repair my car until Friday? So someone is asking a mechanic. Say suppose I am asking the mechanic that can you repair my car until Friday? Right? So until Friday. That what does this until Friday hint at? That I'm giving him a deadline. That do it by that time. Can you do it by this time? So when it is a deadline, I cannot tell him until. Where is until used? Until is used for past continuous, right? I was in depression until I met him. Right? That is what until is. I was. That happened in past. So why will until be used when I'm giving a future deadline? I'm asking him to clean or repair my car in upcoming time. He cannot do it in the past, right? So for a future deadline, it is always by. It's never until. So it will be what? Where is the error? The error is in third one, okay? So your answer is in option number C, which is in third. So what will until be replaced with? Until will be replaced with by. So what will your statement become? Can you repair my car by Friday? Then the mechanic will say yes, no, maybe, whatever it is, right? Okay, got it? Great. Moving ahead to synonyms. This is the most vital part, and I suppose it comes even in the passage also, that what does this word in the passage mean, right? Now let me tell you, there are certain words which has different meanings but the same spelling, right? Like season. Okay, so here seasons are of two kinds, right? One season refers to the weather, other seasons refer to the seasoning that you do in all the food items, right? The different seasonings that you get, may that be Italian herb, Mexican herb, anything, right? But the spelling remains the same. So there are multiple places where there is a word with different kind of meaning but same spelling. But majorly, to be honest, a particular word will have one particular meaning. Okay? There are certain cases where I might bring up a video later on where I'll be explaining all the different kind of word that has same spelling but different meaning. So you need to understand the situation at that time. But for major amount of words, I don't think that issue should arise, because there are already a fixed meaning to that particular word. So here you have a word that is known as corpulent. I give you 30 seconds. Please find out the meaning of corpulent. Okay. So what does this word corpulent means? It's nothing to do with the word corpse. Okay? Nothing to do with this word. So forget it. So corpulent basically is referred to a person who is overweight. That means he is an obese. Okay? So your answer is in option number A. That is obese. Now lean again has two meaning. One is lean and thin, person who is really slim and trim, or thin, absolute thin. And another lean is to lean on me, take me as a support. Okay, that lean. Now again the spelling is same, meanings are different. Okay, so for lean you need to depend upon the situation where it is used. As of now, corpulent was there, so I would consider lean over here means thin. Okay, because corpulent means overweight or obese, right? Dodge and shout is not what corpulent means, right? So your answer is an option number A, right? Great. Moving ahead to another term, that is perfidious. I give you 30 seconds. Try getting the meaning. Okay. So perfidious actually means someone who is untrustworthy, someone you cannot trust. He is perfidious. Okay, so you need to remember this term. This word is a little huge word. There is no shortcut in remembering perfidious. Just remember, if you see some people who were sometime loyal to you and then they ditched you, dumped you, did anything wrong with you, call them perfidious. And next time you remember, when you come across this word perfidious, I'm sure you'll not forget the meaning. That's untrustworthy, right? So perfidious can be related like that way. But if I was given this question and these were the four options, I would have undoubtedly chosen A. Why? Because all the remaining three, that is B, C and D, truthful, overwhelming and calm, all the three things are positive in nature. While only one word, that is untrustworthy, is negative. So it's an odd one out, and to my instinct, I would have chosen option A, right? But don't go by this hit and trial method until and unless you seriously don't know the meaning and there is no negative marking, right? So for perfidious, make sure you remember the word. Just use it 2-3 times to someone who has betrayed you and you will remember the meaning is untrustworthy, right? So that is what perfidious means. Your answer is an option number A, right? Great. Moving ahead, these are the jumble statements. You need to arrange them. I give you a time of 60 seconds. Just give it a try. Okay, so your time is up. Now, while I read about all the 4 lines, I come across 4 things. One is religion. This is point 1. Point number 2, I see there are 3 specific words: peace, justice, freedom. Okay. Third, holy partnership. Fourth, together. Right? Now I just need to arrange all of them. So all religions are bound together. All religions are bound together in a holy partnership to advance the cause of peace, justice and freedom. So I got my answer, right? So the first statement is given over here, all religion are, then it will be S, bound together. Then it will be Q, bound together in what? In an holy partnership. Okay? Then to do what? For what are all religion bound together in a holy partnership? To advance the cause of peace. And finally, justice and freedom is in another line, so you have no other choice. Justice and freedom. So entirely your statement will become bound together in holy partnership to advance the cause of peace, justice and freedom. So this is your answer, S, Q, P, R. I suppose this option is in option number D. Right? It is that simple. So once you read all the 4 things, now try finding out what are the keywords. If you get the keywords, arranging them in a proper order is quite an easy task. Right? Moving on. So this question is a little lengthy one. I would still give you 1 minute. Give it a try. Okay? Tell me what will be the correct order. Alright. So, if I start reading the first statement, which says totally personal agenda will never bring about this level of fulfillment. What personal agenda? I still didn't get it. So, this A will never be my first statement. Once consciousness then becomes. When? Then when will it become? Then for sure this is also not the first statement. See, realizing ourselves and our potential entails becoming a pure reflection and manifestation of one's inner self. This can be. Since the soul lived by different laws. Since like from when? Okay, since what? What is it implying to? So undoubtedly my first part will be option number C. Okay. Now, if I read this option C again, it says realizing ourselves and our potential entails becoming a pure reflection and manifestation of inner self. Okay. Now in C I see there are two options. It's either C A D A or it is C A B D. These are the two options in C. That's starting with C. I'm sure that it will start with C because that is how I eliminated the other statement and you know how I did it. Okay. So it will start with C. Now I have these two options. Now after C it's either B or A. Right? So let's move on to A. Totally personal agenda will never bring about. Here I'm talking about self manifestation. Then where did the personal agenda come in? Then again A is not a part of it. Okay, then what do I have to check? I have to check C and B. So let's see for B. Once consciousness then becomes. Okay, once I have a realization and I understand our potential, I can become a pure reflection and manifestation of the inner self. And once consciousness then becomes, now this then is justified when we realize ourselves. Okay, becomes centered in the identity of the soul. Okay, now the word soul is there, thereby the next statement will also have the term soul. Since the soul lives by different laws and values, then I'm like, okay, now I get the catch. So what will be my order? It will be C, B, D and A, right? This answer option is there in option number C. Okay, I'll just write down all the options D, C, A, B, A, B, C, D, C is C, B, D, A and D is C, A, B. Okay, so this is the correct one. Now you just saw how you find out A. Okay, sorry, I find out C being the first statement. Then from there I eliminated these. I kept these two and I eliminated these two. Now from this I tried with hit and trial method. Is A fitting in or is B fitting in? A didn't fit in. Where does this personal agenda come from all of a sudden? Okay, so B was fitting in properly, and from B I got a link that B had the term as soul. So then in D also it was written since the soul. So that was the catch. So after B it has to be D. Okay, and then finally if there is no other option left, let's say, so your answer is C, B, D, A, right? Great. Moving ahead to the ninth question. This is a very simple question. I will give you only and only 30 seconds for this. Give it a try. Okay, so you need to substitute a word or a phrase for the given statement, which says, what do you understand by the following? That statement is, the result of the examination dashed my hope. Dashed my hope means it almost broke my hopes. There is no hope left. Okay, right? That is the statement. So it cannot be failed, right? Because dashed your hope, breaking your hopes is not failing, right? Failing your hopes means you have tried for the hopes and you failed. But you have not tried. You were thinking about your hopes, and this result just damaged your hopes. Okay? So it's like kill someone. Why will you kill someone if your result is bad, right? Frustrate. Bring great happiness. I don't think that someone's exam result has dashed that person's hope. Like, I hope that I will get 98% and I just got 63%. I don't think it will bring great happiness, right? So, only thing that is left is frustrate. So, this entire statement means to get frustrated. Okay? Frustrate. The result of the examination dashed my hope. Means I'm really frustrated. Like, what kind of exam did I give that my result is this bad? Right? So, your answer is in option number C. That is frustrate. Okay? Great. Moving ahead to the 10th question. Again, substitute one word, and your time starts now. Okay. So again, the statement says ability to make good judgment and take quick decision. Right? Intuition. Intuition means an instinct that you get from inside. Acha ye hone wala hai. This is about to happen. Okay? Right? That is intuition. What is sacrilege? Anyone wants to just guess what the word sacrilege actually mean? Sacrilege is something which means misuse or violation. Okay, so judgment and violation has nothing to do. Revealing means to just reveal what you have done or something that you wanted to share from a long time. So revealing is nowhere to do with good judgment and take quick decision. What's left? It's acumen. Okay, so a person who can make good judgment and take quick decision is known as an acumen. How will you remember this term? This term is so difficult, right? You know acupressure, right? The one device that's used to measure your sugar level and everything. That, and you believe that, right? No matter how bad that machine is, you really believe it. So with that it tells you what is your sugar level and everything. You believe it. You believe that it is taking a good decision, a good judgment on your behalf instead of the doctors. You believe that, right? So from there the word acu has come, and since this is related to a man taking a decision and not something related to a machine, it's men, right? So that's how the word acumen has been derived. Accurately, when a man judges a thing and gives good judgment and takes quick decision, is known as an acumen. Fancy, huh? But it's true. Okay, so an acumen is someone who has the ability to make good judgment and take quick decisions, right? All right, so the question says the workers are hell bent at getting what is due to them, right? Hell bent, the term here is bent, right? Always remember the word like bent is always followed by a word like upon, right? You're always bent upon something to get something done, right? So always the word bent is followed by the word upon. They come in together, hand in hand. Okay, it cannot be just bent at, it is bent upon. Bent at is wrong. Okay, it's always look at. Okay, you're never bent at something, you're always bent upon. Bent upon means you're always leaning towards, you're lean upon, right? You're getting responsible for something, you're depending upon something. That is where the term bent is used. Okay, hell bent upon something for getting something done, right? So what will be your correct answer? The correct answer is option number C. The statement will be the workers are hell bent at is written, at will not be there, it will be upon, and then getting. Okay, what is due to them, right? So bent is followed by upon. Okay, so now buddies, I'll be getting you a list of words that are followed by certain words, and it is mandatory to use them, right? Without which the statement is actually grammatically a wrong statement. Okay, so bent is followed by upon, so your answer is in option number C, that is hell bent upon getting what is due to them. Great. Similarly, I have another question, and it's also a correct statement. Your 30 seconds starts now. Give it a try. Okay. Now, when it was morning, they decided to put at and in. Doesn't this sound incomplete? It does, right? Put is a word that is followed by up. You always put up things, right? You look at, but you put up, right? Even at times we use the word look up, right? So there are different situations when you use these phrases, right? Now, what is it saying? That's in the morning, some people decided to put at an in. What is this put at an in justify? It means to show up, okay? To meet, okay, to go there in the morning and meet at an inn is something like a hotel, something like a restaurant, okay, not exactly a restaurant but a hotel where you can stay as well, right? So that's something an inn. Okay, so put up at, so the statement will complete using an up in between put and at. Okay, so always put up, show up, look up, okay, even look at is there. So there are different scenes where you use things, but put is incomplete without up. You always put up. Okay, the teacher must have told you in school, put up this at the notice board, right? Put it up, put up. So it is a phrase that comes hand in hand. Okay, so your answer is in option number, I suppose, D, right? Put up at. Okay, so in correct the statement, where is the error? The error is here. Put at. It's not just put at, it is put up at. Okay, great. So moving ahead to the third question, I don't think this is a difficult word because the answer is in the word itself. However, your 30 seconds starts now. Give it a try. Alright. You know how I remember this word erroneous? Erroneous, the word itself has a word error in it, which means wrong, right? And that is the meaning of the word. So erroneous means wrong, and that is the meaning of the word, and your answer is in option number B. That is wrong. Enormous, irradiated and weak is not what erroneous aims to say. Okay, it means to say you're wrong. You have made an erroneous decision. Erroneous decision means you have made a wrong decision. Okay? Right? So that is what erroneous means. It means something that's wrong, something that's not right. Okay, that is erroneous. At times what happens, instead of synonyms, they ask you for antonyms, just the opposite. Okay, and at that time, you must be thinking, what does this mean? So remember, erroneous had a word in it that is error, and the word of that error means wrong. So opposite of wrong is right. So always read what is asked in the question. If it is synonyms, go for synonym. If it is antonyms, make sure that it is antonyms. Okay? It's not the meaning, it's the opposite, right? Similarly, there is another word, innocuous. I want you to please find out the answer in 30 seconds. Do it quickly. Okay. Now, innocuous. This generally is a word that is used along with animals. Okay? Suppose I say porcupine is an innocuous animal. What does this statement mean? Innocuous. It means not harmless. Something that is not harmless is innocuous. Okay? Right? That means porcupine is not a harmless animal. Right? So, sorry, innocuous means harmless. Okay? That means a porcupine is not is an harmless animal. Okay? Innocuous refers to harmless. Okay? So, what will be this opposite of innocuous? It will be someone who's not, like something like that, not harmless, right? So, actually, innocuous is a word that comes along with animals. It generally is used with animals that do not harm people, not people, anyone else, okay? But you cannot use the word innocuous with some one like a tiger, like a lion, like a bear, leopard. You can't use it along with these animals, okay? Because they are not innocuous in nature. They are not harmless. They do harm people, right? So innocuous word means harmless. Someone who doesn't harm things, okay? So your answer is in option number B. Okay, at times the word may sound a little negative, but on the other hand, it does have a positive meaning. So, at that cases, you need to remember the example of a sentence. Okay, always remember majorly innocuous is a word that is used along with animals, which refers to harmless animals. Okay, like rabbits. Okay, alright, like rabbits. There are many other things that do not harm people. Okay, maybe your pet dog, right? So they don't harm. So generally innocuous is a term that comes along with animals. So porcupine is an innocuous animal. What does that mean? It means it is an harmless animal. It won't harm, right? At times what happens, the opposite of innocuous is asked. Majorly the opposite is asked of innocuous, right? So at that case, make sure you mark it as not harmless. Not harmless means someone who harms people or anything. Okay, someone who harms. Okay, it's harming, right? Got it? Great. Here your answer is in option number B, that is harmless. Moving on, this is the opposite. Okay, so your 30 seconds starts now. Give it a try. Okay. Now, flagitious, it is a term generally used by the Latins, and it has been derived from the word known as shameful crime. Okay, from the word shameful crime, the word flagitious has been derived. Okay, now what does this word flagitious actually has to do? The word flagitious was generally used with prisoners. Okay, the prisoners, if they had a shameful crime, they were termed as a flagitious person. Okay, so flagitious means someone who has done a shameful crime. That means that person is not a innocent one, right? So what will be the opposite of not innocent? It is someone who is innocent, someone who hasn't done any kind of crime like you and me, right? That is what flagitious means. Okay, so your answer is in option number A. Okay, that is innocent. Vapid, ignorant, frivolous is something different. Okay, remember flagitious was initially used for prisoners who did shameful crime. It's having a Greek Latin origin, so there it was generally used as flagitious, right? I know the words are a little complex, but yeah, we need to improve the complexity so we get to know why and how and where to use these terms, right? Okay, moving ahead. Commission. Now I suppose this term has become very common. Once this social media started, there are a lot of commission artworks that happen, right? So commissioned. 30 seconds have started, give it a try. See, keep in mind that you have to find the opposite of commissioned. Okay. So commission generally means there are two things, okay? It means that to pay someone who can do a piece of work for you, or it basically holds for someone who has been designated a proper post. Okay, someone holding a post, someone who's designated. That is known as commissioned. Okay. Now, what does this commissioned has to do with these two things, right? We say that this piece of work is a commissioned artwork, right? Or this piece of work was a commissioned artwork, right? So, commissioned, the term actually means that it starts. Okay, starts, to start. That is what commissioned means, okay? Whenever you're commissioned, whenever you're designated, whenever you're paid to do something, your work starts. Okay, so what will be the opposite of start? It will not be closed, but the major word that is used is terminated or cancelled. Okay, a commissioned work is either finished. Why finished? Finished because they have paid you and you complete it. Else they take back the payment and the work is terminated or cancelled. Or else you are designated, you start your work after your retirement, you're finished with that, and then you are terminated or your that duty is cancelled. Okay, you're no more a commissioned worker, you're no more doing a commissioned artwork or something like that. Okay, got it? So commission generally means to begin with. Okay, and opposite of begin with is to get terminated or cancelled. Alright. So basically commissioned is used with two things. One is a designation and other is to get paid for. Okay, so that is generally linked with that. Right? So opposite will be terminated. So I can see terminated. Okay, so that is in option number D. Clear? Great. Moving ahead, fill in the blanks. Your 30 seconds starts now. Give it a try. Okay. So, the question says Rajiv failed in the examination because none of his answers were dashed to the question asked. When the word comes that he failed because none of his answers were dashed to the question asked, that means his answers weren't matching. His answers were not matching to the questions asked. Answers not matching to the questions asked, right? Thereby he failed. Had it been matching, he wouldn't have failed, right? So I have to find a word which says that it wasn't matching. Now, matching means the answers weren't relevant, right? Something like that. Okay? So, elusive, no. Revealing, no. Referential, no. It didn't refer to something, right? Then what is remaining? Pertinent, right? The word pertinent generally means relevant. Okay? Right? When it comes to culture, generally the word is used, right? that his culture is somewhat pertinent like that of mine, right? That means his culture is somewhat relevant to that of mine. Okay, not completely, but somewhat. Okay, it basically is used in the form of culture, but yeah, pertinent actually means relevant. Okay, pertinent means relevant. So Rajiv failed in the exam because his answers were pertinent to the questions asked. Okay, pertinent. Okay, that was not relevant to the questions asked. Okay, why did I write that not pertinent? Because none is already here. Okay, so you don't have to add an extra no, giving it an extra meaning makes no sense. Okay, Rajiv failed in the examination because none of his answers were pertinent to the question asked. Now, if I change it into the meaning of relevant, hear me out. Rajiv failed in the examination because none of his answers were relevant to the question. Did it make sense? It did, right? You don't have to make it non relevant, or you don't have to make it as not pertinent, right? So, alone these words are making sense because of the word none. None means it's no, right? You don't have to add an extra not to make it more sensible, right? Moving ahead, question number 8. This is a very simple question. I give you 30 seconds, give it a try. Okay. Now, for this question, I don't think we need any trick. Dash by people's perception, it seems that democracy has succeeded in India. It's simple, right? Going by the people's perception. Why going? Why not following? Because remember, following comes by the word the. Going goes by the word by. Okay, this is by normal English. Okay, following is followed by the, going is followed by, going is followed by. Okay, so it's a general English grammar. Okay, so going by the people's perception. Now again, if you have this transformation, see, perception is what? Something that people have explained, something that people have imagined, something that people have universally accepted. Maybe they have never seen it, maybe they have never felt it, but they have accepted it somehow. That is what perception is. That is my perception that he might be a bright student. Okay, somewhere I have accepted it because maybe I've seen certain qualities, maybe I've seen him perform somewhere or something like that, right? So it's always something that's imaginary. Okay, so it's always going by. If I go by my perception, then maybe he's going to do. If I follow my perception, I never follow my perception, right? Because perception is something that is imaginary. How can you follow it? You always have to go by your perceptions in order to achieve something. Okay, in order to get something. So it's always making sense when it is to go by. Okay, so always go by your perception. Okay, so whenever there is a word like perception, it is always go by. So here what it will be? Answer will be going by the perception, people's perception. It seems that the democracy has succeeded in India. What is the answer? Answer is in option number B. It's as simple as that, right? Great. Moving to the 9th question. Okay, your 30 seconds starts now. Give it a try. Okay. Many ecologists are concerned that the greenhouse effect is changing many of Earth's dash weather patterns into dash system, unable to accurately forecast by those who study them, right? So it's a very huge statement, right? What I understood by reading it once is that the concern is a greenhouse effect which is changing Earth's weather, okay, into some system, something, okay, that becomes very unpredictable, unable to accurately forecast. That means the weather of the Earth has become so unpredictable that we cannot accurately forecast. Now, Unable to accurately forecast means it's something related to prediction. Initially, something was predictable, now it has become unpredictable, right? So let's look for a term like unpredictable. I don't see unpredictable, but I see the term predictable. Now let me fit in somewhere, right? Let me fit in, there is a first word, let me fit in the first blank. Many ecologists are concerned that the greenhouse effect is changing many of the Earth's predictable weather. True. Why predictable weather is correct over here? Because here it is saying unable to accurately forecast. That means now it has become unpredictable. Right? But initially it was what? It was predictable. Right? So predictable weather in patterns into erratic system. Okay, erratic system means something that is abrupt. Okay, erratic system. Unable to accurately forecast by those who study them. How correct, right? So I got my answer in the first point itself just by understanding what the statement wants to say. I just translated this last part. Something was happening over here due to greenhouse effect. Ultimately, they couldn't find out or forecast the weather accurately, right? Great. So, if I consider others, okay, steady weather. I don't think weather is a steady thing, but weather is something that can be predicted. Uncertain weather. It is uncertain now, okay? It's not able to be predicted now properly. So uncertain is over here, not here. Here it should be something certain. Had it been certain, I had to choose between predictable and certain, right? Chaotic weather. Chaotic weather isn't something that will fit into the box, right? So my answer is in option number A. Clear? That is predictable and erratic. Moving on. Identify the phase and mark its meaning. That means this statement has a phase in it. Idiom and phases, that kind of a phase is there in this. Identify that phase and you have to mark the meaning of the phase. Okay, so your 30 seconds starts now. Give it a try. Okay, your time is up. So for the alleged involvement in espionage, he is under a cloud these days. Now, where is the phase? Very important in a given question that you know how to find a phase, right? Now, always try understanding what is a phase, something that has a different kind of a meaning that is all of a sudden added, and something that makes no sense, like he has been alleged involvement for an espionage. What is an espionage? Espionage basically means the practice of spying. Okay, he has been alleged for the practice of spying, so he might be spying on someone, so maybe he has been alleged for that reason. There are allegations on him that he has been spying on someone, so thereby he, instead of using the word spying, he has used the word espionage, right? So remember, the meaning of espionage is to spy on someone. Now from spying, where did the word cloud come, right? So that means this is the phase, under a cloud. These days is not included, but this much is the phase, under a cloud. Now, since this is the phase, you have identified the phase, you have to mark the meaning of this phase. What does the phase under a cloud mean? Let's look into the option. Experiencing a cloudy weather. He has been accused of spying. Experiencing a cloudy weather will really not fit in over here, right? Enjoying a favorable luck. Come on, he's been allegedly involved in. He has been alleged for his involvement in espionage. He has been accused for his involvement in spying. So how can he have his favorable luck? That is also not possible. Under a suspicion, maybe under observation. Okay. Now, under a cloud, right? What will this actually mean? If I look into the statement, it says that he has been alleged, he's been accused. Allegations are there. There is no foolproof, right? It's not a foolproof that he is having he has actually done some spying work. Okay, so under a cloud basically refers to the fact that it is suspected, he's suspicious of, like under a suspicion. Okay, under a suspicion, it is not under observation. Okay, under observation means it's for sure that he has done it, and now he's being observed with all the activities that he do and everything. Okay, but now he's just been accused, he's been allegedly told that okay, he's a spying agent, he's spying on this person, so he's kept under the crowd. There's no full proof, he's under the suspicion that maybe or may not be this person is someone who's involved in spying, right? So under a cloud is the phase, the meaning is under a suspicion. Okay, he is expected to be the person who has been spying. So answer is an option number C, which says under a suspicion. Got it, everyone? Clear? And thank you. Bye bye.